Happy Monday, and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show. I am Anthony Totri. This guy
That was without soul. Can you do that
was
again?
without soul.
Happy Monday.
I mean, it's April Fool's. We were talking about it before, like the show
you were
started.
talking about it. You were
You're
getting
right.
yourself riled up.
No,
I
Shane,
was just
me
talking
and
to
you,
the
we were
void.
really talking
I
about
was
it.
I was talking to the void. I hate April Fools, but it's okay. It's okay. Okay.
Is it okay? You don't
it's
seem okay.
It's okay because we're going to be talking college basketball here. We got Erik Ruby over here. We got Big
What's up,
Pokey, Shane
guys?
Dieffenbach here. We
How's
got
everybody doing?
DJ Danielle behind the Mac making all the magic happen.
DJ Danielle.
Guys, do us a solid before we get into everything that we're going to be talking about today. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you're listening on audio, do us a solid. Hit, again, that like button and then leave a 5-star review. We really, really do appreciate it. Gents, how was your weekends?
It's great.
Yeah?
We're good. How was yours?
It was great. It was great.
Good.
You know, nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Eric?
It was great.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
great. Yeah, ooh, nothing crazy.
Totri was at practice the other day and
Saturday,
was
yeah.
feeling a little.
Physically, but not mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a struggle, but we
No,
survived.
he was there. He was definitely there mentally. He pushed through
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Somehow we did it. My head was pounding, but we made it through. We made it through. Just a long evening. It is what it is. But gents, ASU basketball, they haven't been in the NCAA tournament at all. But you know who has?
Breaking news.
You know who
Okay,
has?
No.
You know who
Restart the
has?
segment.
But
Restart the
breaking
segment.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. DJ Horne and the NC State Wolfpack have been just, it's first off, they've been a cash cow the entire NCAA tournament because they've been dogs in every single game so far. I think you could have got them at plus 225 in their last game.
I got them live last night when
Did
they
you?
were only up, when they were down 4, like right before they held the Duke scoreless for like 6 minutes. I bet on them right before that run.
They knew.
I got them at like plus 350.
I love it. I've still got my bonus bet ready to cash on BetMGM
Ooh.
if they win the whole thing. So that'll be nice. That'll be real nice if that actually happens. But let's talk DJ Horne. Because ASU fans, they're going to get to see him return to the Valley. And this is now the second former Arizona State basketball player that now headed to a Final Four and looking to cut down the nets, looking to be a national champion. Obviously, Remy Martin, it happened a few years ago at Kansas. DJ Horne, it feels, I want to say a little different just because Remy was here really from the start. But Shane, we covered the seasons when DJ was here. Consistently, DJ Horne was one of the better scorers for the Arizona State Sun Devils.
Yeah, I think he was the most consistent option.
Yeah.
For his 2 years here. Yeah, and not only a great scorer, but also just a great person. I loved everything he did with the around the program, and yeah, that one really hurt when he entered the portal. And I'll get into my feelings on what I actually think about this whole thing, but it's really cool to see a guy like him on such a national stage just thrive. And obviously his spotlight is being taken away a little bit by the other DJ because let's be honest, that he's one of the most fun players in college basketball right now. But it is great.
I mean, DJ Horne, I think, again, there's going to be a lot of people when you get to the Final Four and you see them against Purdue that want to talk about what DJ Horne has done through the NCAA tournament, the ACC tournament. But realistically, he's had a pretty phenomenal season.
Yeah.
Like,
get that hate out your heart, though.
All around. So this is just a quick look at the numbers for DJ Horne this season compared to his final season at Arizona State. At ASU, averaged 12.5 points this season at NC State, almost 17 points per game. The field goal percentage is a giant increase, shot 36% at ASU, then 43% at NC State. 3-point percentage, that increased 35% at ASU, 40% at NC State, one of the best 3-point shooters in Division I basketball this season. Free throw numbers, pretty much the same, 81.6 final year in a Sun Devil uniform, and then 81.1 this season for the Wolfpack. Eric, like, the consistency that you've seen from DJ Horne has been pretty ridiculous. Again, just because watching him at ASU, he had his moments. But there were certainly times where you're just like, what's going on? And a lot of it now is you look the offense, right? Bobby Hurley's offense. For you to see those numbers versus what he did at NC State, just what are your thoughts on DJ Horne's success this
It's
season?
very like left brain, right brain. Because part of me is like with JJ, where it's like I'm happy for DJ Horne, you know, but like it is somewhat deflating to see yet another player like leave ASU and maybe in different ways. Like Remy leaves ASU, his stats go down, his role goes down, but he goes to a championship team. Right, like DJ Horne leaves ASU, goes to another team, and everything kind of inflates.
Yeah.
But either way, you're leaving ASU and you're kind of building up and getting another level of success. It makes you think, what if? You know, it makes you wonder, oh, well, if he stayed, would he have had the same jump? Was it just simply another like year and under college basketball and growth as you see guys kind of balloon? But, you know, I'm happy for him, but I'm sad that it didn't happen for us. And I'm left wondering if that could have even happened if he was here.
No. Look. This is such a unique situation, and so many things that have happened out of ASU are such unique situations. So if we want to talk about storied success from guards that transfer ASU, it's bullshit, but we can talk about that. You know, you get your Jalen Houses who go to smaller schools, and their role is he's their best player.
Yeah,
like, and he is now the captain of this team and has been established there for 3 years, and they're the pride of the Mountain West coming out of the tournament because they're on fire, and then they get mollywopped by Clemson. You could talk about your transfers that get too good to they grow out of their clothes, so to speak, at ASU, and they have to go to a different school to get more to want to win a championship. And Remy Martin, this is something that's never happened before. This is only the 6th 11 seed to ever make a Final Four. No, they tie the record for the highest seed to ever make a Final Four. Their probability to do this is the most insane I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys know how they got here.
Yeah.
They had to win their tournament.
Yeah.
And they didn't just win their tournament. I think the second round, they banked in a game-winning 3.
Off of a missed free
throw. In the semifinal, off a missed free throw. That 3 was just to get it to overtime against Virginia.
So, like, this team is awesome, and they've taken advantage of the opportunity they've been given. They've really thrived in this opportunity. But it's not because DJ Horne is some world beater. He had amazing moments last night, and he's a big reason why this team is making it to where it is. But it's just such a different situation. I mean,
it is
like DJ Horne doesn't take this team to the tournament. Like, he doesn't do that.
No, it's a whole team thing for sure. And I don't think the argument is that DJ Horne is now like a world beater of college basketball, right? I think it's just you've seen him put up better stats and like, yes, they even made the tournament. They put themselves in a position to make a run like that, which is something that ASU wasn't able to do. But like, you're right. Like if they had either been knocked out in their tournament or knocked out early in March Madness, like we wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation. But it's, what happened has happened, and the stats are the stats as well. And the way he's played, like he maybe isn't the biggest reason on that team, but he's certainly one.
He's a top 3 player on that team.
He's a top 2 player.
And I think the craziest thing for me to watch NC State, and again, watch tournament game after tournament game and see them as dogs. And I get it. They're 11 seed. You know what happened like in the ACC tournament, but they are built to win a championship in my mind. They've got the star in DJ Burns, and it's not just the star because you want to compare him to some of the other stars in the Final Four. He probably doesn't match up, right? But they have so many weapons. They have a full 7-man rotation of guys that you feel confident can get it done night in, night out. They've got bigs. Like, I think NC State has a great chance to take down Purdue. Now, UConn is an entirely different animal. I think we've seen that, obviously, throughout the NCAA tournament. But DJ Horne, for me, I don't think, to answer your earlier question, Eric, and to go off your point, Shane, I don't think DJ Horne would have had the same jump statistically. I don't think he would have had the same numbers. Now, part of that, in my mind, is Bobby Hurley's system in the offense, whatever. But I think NC State is a great model of how you build a college basketball team in today's era of college hoops without being a blue blood, without being a North Carolina, without being a Kentucky. Like, they've got a bunch of guys that did it at smaller programs, transferred in, and yes, they had, 14 losses this season? Mm-hmm. But a team like this that you've seen, and why I think they're so dangerous, is because they're hot, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the tournament.
But they were hot before the tournament.
No, but that's the tournament. Is the hottest teams make the deepest runs? Like, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Like, aside from fucking Clemson, who backed their way into the tournament, threw up on themselves, and then somehow won 6 games.
Backed their way into the tournament and threw up on themselves.
Like, NC State was obviously dangerous. Everybody knew this coming into the tournament because of what they did. They took down North Carolina before the NCAA tournament
and Duke.
That's why this is so the college basketball, the NCAA tournament is so fun, but college basketball also, because you get teams like this and you get players like this. DJ Burns was a darling for your sicko college basketball fan. People knew him, but now he gets to the tournament and now the world knows him. And that's awesome. So NC State also plays a different brand of basketball. The thing that's interesting though is this was not an ASU problem, I don't think, because ASU wasn't forcing DJ Horne into a lower field goal percentage. Yes, some of the offense might not have set him up for success, but he also wasn't one to take bad shots. He wasn't forced into bad shots. His field goal attempts have gone up this year, and rarely do you see your field goal attempts go up and then your percentage follow. Like that is so rare. He's just become a different player this year. And also he's playing a different brand of basketball. Yeah. Like the brand of basketball in the ACC is so much different than Pac-12 defense. Like it's so different. ASU forced its game onto others when they were good with DJ Horne into playing this gross, muck it up style of game because they didn't have this prolific move the ball around offense, which led to, NC State has a slower pace. They're like bottom third in possessions per game, but like they still just have a different offense. And when you're running your offense through a guy that has, this world beater down low and can kick it out and create offensively, he gets a lot of open shots. But again, I think the brand of basketball is different. And I think the biggest thing is this is a DJ Horne thing and not an ASU problem, because DJ Horne took such a big leap. You don't see that just because you go to a different school, but even though your minutes stay the same.
Yeah. Well, but I think that kind of goes to a point that you made on a show last week, where it's like, you want to keep players around or do what you can to keep players around, because you never know when that freshman, sophomore, junior, as they continue to age, like that jump, it's on them, and you never really know when it's going to happen. And it could be also to Totri's point, like, maybe Bobby Hurley didn't run an offense to get the most out of DJ Horne, but even if he was still here, you would have seen a better player than you did the year before. If you did a stat graphic like DJ Horne last year versus DJ Horne this year, like he would have still improved, because like you said, Shane, like that's on him. It's a circumstance of very, very different things all coming together at once. And it's very unlikely that we would be sitting here today talking about this, but what happened has happened, and he has gotten better and has been a major part of it. And I know that there are some people who want to like get really angry about it as well, but that's just like, that's like not where I'm sitting at with this.
I mean, look,
you want to hear something hilarious? Last night after they won, I was talking to some people and I was like, I don't want people to make this about ASU. They're going to make it about ASU because he's coming back to Arizona.
And it's not just Horne, but there's so many ties.
Yeah, for sure. Like, but that's not what I mean. Like, you can give kudos to the assistant coaches and give kudos to Horne because he's the next Sun Devil, but don't make this an ASU problem.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people are doing. And yeah, like DJ Horne might have taken the leap, and obviously I would have rather had him here, 100%. But shit happens in college basketball. They couldn't pay him enough money to retain him.
Yeah.
And he left.
He wanted to leave.
And he's closer to home. Yes, it would have been great to have him, but ASU is not in a better. This team still is 500 probably if they win a couple more games if he's here. I think. And that's not a knock on DJ Horne. It's a knock on what the state of the program this year.
Yeah, Kate in the chat. Kate is a ASU fan that was out at the Sun Devil football practice on Saturday. Pleasure to meet you as well, Kate. Super awesome.
He said you're as cool in the pod as you are in real life.
I
didn't know that you were cool in the pod.
I didn't know that either, but I will definitely take it. No, I think, again, in terms of watching DJ Horne succeed, I think there are obviously going to be people that are split, right? There's Donald, who is a PHNX diehard, he is anti everybody that transfers from ASU, which is a point of view. Again, like, I don't think you should tell a fan how they want to react and deal with the situation. For me, it is more so like, again, as somebody who's talked to DJ before, we've had him on the show. He's always been great. And he's been such a fun college basketball player to watch and to watch grow, right? Because at the start of his season at Arizona State, he wasn't the player that you were seeing make this run in the NCAA tournament. There are shots that he was taking in the Sweet 16 game that would fall that just didn't fall while he was at ASU. And it's just, for me, it's fun. And I think if there's anybody that an ASU fan should be rooting for in the Final Four, it is an NC State. It is a guy like DJ Horne, because let's be real, you don't anticipate a team or program like Arizona State getting to a 1 seed, a 2 seed. Not to say it's impossible, right? You never know with the current era of college athletics. But like I said earlier, I think NC State, just the program as it stands right now, is a beautiful model to have for Bobby Hurley trying to build a program.
What's the model though? Get hot and bank in a
No,
three?
not necessarily. No,
Like,
not necessarily that.
Like genuinely, what's the model?
I think the way that team was constructed, that roster specifically, and I know it fits like that coach's style of play, and it doesn't necessarily fit what Bobby's got going. But if you watch that team, and I've watched every tournament game that they have played, they are easily the most fun team to watch.
Fun doesn't mean wins though. Like they're awesome.
No, but
I know
what they're doing is winning.
But roster construction aside, it doesn't really matter.
You love to defend Bobby Hurley.
I'm not defending Bobby Hurley.
You are though, because that is what they're doing. What you said earlier as an 11 seed.
You're making this an ASU thing when I said it's not.
How am I making an ASU
because
thing?
you're assuming that I'm defending Bob. Just hear me out for a second. Roster construction doesn't mean anything if the players that are on your team aren't playing well. If they're playing well, like this team was a middle of the road team in the ACC 95% of the year, and then they figured shit out. It's not roster construction. They just figured it out down the way. Like I get what you're saying, but basketball X's and O's, there's nothing to learn here. They're just playing well.
I just disagree.
I disagree with you. What do you see from a
Arizona State and NC State? They're the same program, right? NC State long term has had more success in college basketball than Arizona State.
What do you mean they're the same program?
They're NC State and Arizona State. They're not 1 seeds. They're not 2 seeds. They're not 3 seeds.
So they're mid-level Power 5.
They're mid. Yes,
okay.
Exactly. And in terms of a coach being able to get his players hot at the right moment, to figure shit out at the right moment in the tournament, to do it, something Arizona State has never done in the history of the Pac-12. Okay. That is a perfect model of how to do it.
The NC State coach was about to get fired multiple times.
He was, absolutely. Like, he probably would have get fired, but because he won the ACC tournament, he got a 2-year extension out of it.
But again, this is a product of how fucking awesome the NCAA tournament is.
You're right, it is.
It's not a product of how... This team, I guarantee it, next year is not making a deep run in the tournament. It's not happening. This is a one-year wonder, and that's why it's called a Cinderella story.
Yeah.
You don't roster construct a Cinderella story, Totri. That doesn't just happen.
I understand you don't roster construct a Cinderella story, but
then how does ASU
Arizona State and Bobby Hurley getting those types of guys in the portal, guys that had success other places specifically? I think in terms of being able to get good talent, I don't think Bobby Hurley can do it, and he can't retain it.
I think the second part is more true than the first part. And there's some comments in the chat. It's like, say what you want about Bobby. Like when people leave and still have success, it's not that he can't find talented players. It's maybe not finding the best way to get out of them. But I think if there is a strength of Bobby Hurley, it's finding people in the portal that have had success. Maybe at like not other major programs, but at some smaller programs and whatnot.
He finds people that have had success at other programs.
Yeah.
Like DJ Horne's 15 points or 12 points a game at Arizona State is not as sexy as Desmond Cambridge's 17 points a game at Nevada. Like he can find those guys in the portal. Again, like you made this an ASU thing when I don't think it should be.
I'm over it. I think I woke up today and chose violence against Bobby Hurley, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating. I think rooting for DJ Horne is where I'm at, but it is frustrating to see that Bobby Hurley has fingerprints kind of definitely on 2 of the 4 teams in the Final Four. And if you want to throw in his brother, like where's Arizona State? Where's Bobby Hurley? On the outside looking in again.
I think what's going on here.
Final Four.
I think what's going on here, Shane, is this is like the perfect encapsulation of where a lot of people are with ASU basketball.
He's been backed into a corner and he doesn't want to get out of it, and he just wants to yell at Bobby Hurley.
Yes, I do.
That's what he chose today, and that's fine.
But like I think that even when you look at a guy like DJ Horne, and yes, if you want to break down like exactly how this happened and can ASU replicate NC State, or was DJ Horne going to be as good if he was here? Like to me, it's like I'm putting all that aside, and if we're looking at just the emotions of this, people would not care as much, and they would be rooting more for DJ Horne if ASU basketball wasn't in the state that they were in.
My only point, dude, is like you can build these, you can get these guys in the portal that had this awesome points per game total, and you can get your DJ Burns, who is a 4-star recruit, like Adam Miller was a 4-star recruit, and you can get these guys. But at the end of the day, like you gotta beat Duke and North Carolina to get where you're at, and that doesn't happen unless you hit your stride at the right time, and it's all just based on luck. I saw something about their win percentages and how likely they were to get to this point. I know the NCAA tournament's a loser machine, so like getting to the Final Four in general is very highly unlikely. But it's like a 1 in a 10 million chance. Like they did something that is the most insane thing ever. So I think to make it a knock on ASU is a little bit ridiculous, but I understand why. Like it's something to talk about. But
no, it's more than that. It's more than just something to talk about. It's frustrating. It's frustrating year after year to watch Arizona State, take NC State aside, to get players from the portal.
But I thought you said he
DJ
couldn't
Horne.
do that.
He gets a guy like DJ Horne. He gets a guy like Frankie Collins. He gets a guy like Devin Cambridge.
Okay.
What happens after 1 year rentals?
It's not 1 year rentals. DJ Horne was here for 2 years.
And then he left. And look where he's at now.
He's a 1 year rental there, Totri. He's literally.
But they're winning.
No, but they're winning. 1 year rental. It makes no sense.
So tell me why ASU basketball can't win then.
Because it's a fucking loser machine. The NCAA tournament.
I'm not talking just NCAA tournament though.
Then what is winning to you? Is winning losing 14 games in the ACC? Because NC State got that for you. They did that.
And they won their tournament.
You just said you were talking about
I'm just going to get the popcorn. I'm just going to sit back.
We're done here.
It's
Okay.
ridiculous.
We did have a super chat from Donald.
Yeah,
I
let's
guess.
go ahead and get to
I mean, I don't know if you're going to love it. It says defund Hurley, LOL. But thank you for funding us.
Thanks for the
Appreciate it.
$1.99, Sweet Prince Kenny, Donald.
Sweet Prince. Thank
Sweet
you.
Prince Kenny. Look, like I said earlier, they've been an absolute cash cow. NC State has. But enough about my picks. I want to hear Shane's picks about what we got going on in the NBA, MLB, the NCAA Tournament, Final Four, and everything related to sports betting. Where can you do it, Shane?
Oh, well, you can only do it on one place, and that is BetMGM. And it is the best place to bet on the NCAA tournament because they give you the best live odds and they update fast. And it's just so much fun. As I said, I got those odds live at like +3 something when they were down 4. And I was like, this is heinous. And then DJ Burns just all
Jokic.
his way to victory. Yeah, BetMGM is the best place to do it. And there's only one thing to do tonight, and that is to bet on the Suns, maybe?
Oh.
What's happening in this game tonight?
What's happening?
There's no Brandon Ingram, and the Pelicans are favored. It doesn't make sense. The Suns shouldn't win, but they're gonna.
And
because it
Book is
doesn't
in his
make
home state.
sense.
He's going to have family
And
there.
Book is coming off of 2 50-point games the last time he's played
Yep.
the Pelicans. So, what does that tell you? The Suns are going to win because it
There
doesn't
you
make
go.
sense.
I hope.
They
I hope.
lost the game they should have won against the Thunder, and they're going to win a game they should have lost tonight.
That makes sense.
The odds
That's the
makers are
Suns'
trying
way.
to trap you into this is the most rat line I've ever seen. The Pelicans are favored without Brandon Ingram, with the Suns are fully healthy. It doesn't make sense.
I mean, the Pels have been playing well.
I know, but it doesn't make sense.
It's fair.
It makes no sense. So we're going to take that. And my parlay pick is Book over 25.5 points
Mm-hmm.
and the Suns money line. Simple as that.
That
Simple
seems like it can happen
as
for
that.
sure.
Around
Zero
plus 200 odds. 2 legs. All you need to get you home. Over at BetMGM. Sign up for BetMGM. Use that bonus code PHNX. Place your first bet. MGM Sportsbook wager through the BetMGM Sportsbook mobile app for at least $10, and you'll receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if the bet loses. Check out the show notes for full details. Now listen to me talk about the disclaimer. Bonus bets expire in 7 days. One new customer offer only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, North Carolina, Ontario, or Puerto Rico.
Now, when you guys win some money over on the BetMGM Sportsbook app, maybe it'll be time to take a little vacation, a little staycation here in the Valley over at Gila River Resorts and Casinos, and nobody does it better. And if you love to sports bet, well, you could do it over at Gila River Resorts as well. They offer an authentic and immersive experience with an unprecedented level of entertainment and excitement that you're not going to find anywhere else in the desert. They haven't just set a high bar. They have set the highest bar in the Valley with their state-of-the-art gaming floor. It's got it all with over 800 slot machines, 15 blackjack tables, and live table games, not to mention Arizona's largest casino sportsbook. Head over to Gila River Resorts and Casinos and
We're
let
going to
them
be there
show
all
you.
weekend.
All weekend?
All weekend. We're going to be
Final
there.
Four.
We're going to be there
Yep.
for the Final Four. We're going to be there for the Suns game. We got a bunch of stuff coming up this weekend.
It's going to be exciting.
Mike Bibby's got a little shoe collection
Yep.
thing going on.
It's
Yeah,
Eric's
look at that.
birthday,
And my
Oh, yeah.
birthday on the 7th.
but he
That's
probably
true.
won't be there because he's too busy birthdaying.
Birthday, but I will be there on the
Birthdaying as a verb
5th
is
for
crazy.
sure.
Yeah.
It's
For
awesome.
sure.
Look, you guys do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit playathila.com for more details. Now, it's not just DJ Horne. Okay, there are other ASU connections, Bobby Hurley connections to the Final Four with UConn. Obviously, Dan Hurley led UConn back to the Final Four, looking to go back to back. Have you guys watched what UConn has done through the NCAA tournament?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, just the sheer domination.
You talk about a cash cow. I mean, I was dumb because I thought everything was too good to be true this year. Because last year I made almost $1,000 betting on UConn. I'm not even kidding. Like for in the conference tournaments and the NCAA tournament, like they covered every game.
Yeah.
And it was no sweats. And it's the same thing. They've covered every game and they've been double-digit point favorites in every single game.
It's crazy.
It's nuts.
Yeah, they've won every single NCAA tournament game so far by 17 or more points.
And I think they've
lost
won
their
everyone
best
by double
scorer
digits
last
the
year.
last couple of years. Like last year as well. I don't think they've had a single digit win.
No.
Crazy.
What was it, a 30-0 run that they went on in their
It was
Elite
a
Eight game?
30-0
30-0 run over Illinois.
Like that's insane.
Yeah.
That's insanity to be doing that against teams that are what was it, Clemson that they played or no? Illinois, who was it blows my mind to see what Dan Hurley's doing.
To do it against an Illinois team whose offense is just really, really picked up. I mean, Big Ten offenses aren't known for being sexy, but this offense has been awesome. And obviously, Terrence Shannon Jr. has led it. I mean, the dude was scoring 25 plus points every single night, and they held him to 3 points in the first half, and I think under 15 total. Like, this team is the closest thing to an NBA team in terms of scheme, athleticism, and togetherness that I've seen in college basketball in recent years. Like, Dan Hurley has his teams clicking. They have his players playing for their teammates, and I mean it's great to retain some talent. And when you lose a guy like Jordan Hawkins in the portal and you get other players to replace him, a next man up mentality like we were talking about, I mean this is the gold standard for a college basketball team. Like, they do everything right.
And what was the last time a team went back to back? You know, off the top of your head?
No, I don't know.
It's been a while though. It's been a while because it's so damn hard. It is so damn hard to go back to back.
So hard in college basketball.
Yeah, and to do it like the way that Dan Hurley is doing it, just absolutely slaughtering teams, is crazy to watch.
If my math is correct, I'm just looking at since the start of February, they've won every single game, and out of those games, only 2 of them have been by single digits.
That's insane to me. That's absolutely insane what Dan Hurley is doing.
Florida, last time 06, 07.
Yeah, with Al Horford and
Joakim Noah.
Yeah.
Jeez. But again, that was how long ago? 18 years ago?
It was a long time.
Like 18
and that
years ago?
was a team that a lot of those guys could have gone out to the draft after that
And
first
then
year, and they would have been a high pick, and they actually ended up staying because they wanted to go back to back. So, what UConn's doing is absolutely incredible. And then you just have to think like now they're going to take on Alabama. That's going to be an incredible game. And you're wondering, like, there shouldn't be a 30-0 run in that. But to Shane's point, like Illinois, like their offense was also really good, and they were able to get stifled. It is truly impressive to see a team come in and then be as consistent as this in college basketball. It feels like inconsistency is the only thing that's consistent in this entire sport.
So my question then is Dan Hurley the best coach in college basketball?
Yeah, I
Hands
don't
down.
think it's close. I mean, he's a champion. He's on top, and he's got his team somehow to an even higher level. Like, they're dominating even more than they were last year. And if they can cut down the nets again, there's no question.
Eric?
I mean, I agree. I feel like right now, even before they cut down the nets, I don't think that there's any question, and it would just be further cementing into like reality. Like, shake it, you can't deny it. It's right in front of your face. Already winning one and being this dominant in a back-to-back year, like, you don't see that often.
Yeah.
And if it culminates with winning again and taking on some really good teams on the way, like, that's just it would be incredible.
Especially if, again, they do it in dominance, right?
Well, if they beat Alabama by 15, 20 points.
That game's gonna be so interesting because both teams like love to assert their game onto the other team. Like, Alabama wants to run you out of the gym. They're always top 10 in possessions per game. And obviously, we know how UConn plays. They suffocate you.
Yeah.
It should be really fun. I'm winning that. It's not close.
Oh, stop. I'm
Build
sorry.
the Dan
Are you
Hurley
serious?
statue.
I'm sorry.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
What?
He look at the comments. Said, who would win a 3-point contest between Shane, Eric, and Totri?
Are you serious?
I'm serious. I'm being very dead ass right now.
That's crazy.
I feel like we got to make
the
this
confidence
happen.
is nuts.
We got to make this happen.
Wait, the confidence you have the confidence.
Well, because
too?
I know.
Right.
Like, you just think.
Right.
That's
right,
crazy.
Right.
I've seen it.
We
You've
got to
seen
make this
it.
happen.
Yeah.
We technically did have a 3-point contest on a 9-foot rim outside at the Tea Party.
Yeah, same thing.
Right. And I don't remember you hitting a shot.
Yeah. I had a camera in my hand.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Didn't you choose to shoot with the camera in your hand? Then you took it out for another one. Then you missed the other one. Right.
Yeah.
And then I think I hit like 5 or 6.
No, you were hitting free throws.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Those
I
were
don't
free
think
throws.
that happened. I don't think that happened.
Those were free throws.
I would listen.
Sweetheart.
This is not the first time that this conversation comes between me and Shane. It has, but with PHNX Suns, that's been a conversation for a while. We can pull the cameras out right now today.
You
and
look
go
like
to
you
the
were
court.
really good on your Christian basketball league, and that's fine.
Okay.
But like, I'm locking you up 75 feet. I'm
and a
staying in front
3-point contest?
Oh no, I was just talking 1-on-1 now.
Okay, 1-on-1. I mean, I would still bet on myself in 1-on-1.
Sharon,
but-
I'm winning the dunk contest.
Yeah.
dunk
For
contest.
sure. For sure.
definitely.
I've got hops not everybody knows about. But Alabama, Nate Oats got his ties to Bobby Hurley, was an assistant for 2 seasons.
I cannot believe that still.
Isn't it wild?
Like in Buffalo, it's just like, what are you doing?
So for those of you that don't know, Nate Oats, the Alabama coach, spent 2 seasons as an assistant coach under Bobby Hurley, helped lead the Buffalo Bulls to a 42-20 record, back-to-back MAC East titles, a MAC regular season title, a MAC tournament title, and the University of Buffalo's first ever trip to the NCAA tournament. It's Alabama, again, to what you said earlier, Shane, it's been an interesting run for them. So far through the NCAA tournament. They beat Charleston, they beat Grand Canyon, they beat UNC, and they've beaten Clemson. Now, they haven't done it with like sheer dominance the way that UConn has, but it's been impressive to watch, I think, specifically some of their games.
They've won games, like obviously not commandingly because they've almost all been nail biters, but they've pulled away late and they've done it through some really great individual efforts. You think of Mark Sears's game in the Sweet 16. Now you think of
Grant
Nelson's game in the Elite Eight, blocking the game-winning buzzer beater like from full court. But still, it's like our game time buzzer beater. These guys are so fun to watch, and it sucks because I feel like I was a year too early on them last year. Like I was like, this team's gonna make a huge run, and then now they're in the Final Four. I love Nate Oats, and I love how he runs this team. As I said, they are such a weird team that just runs, and they average, I think, the least, or they're somewhere near the bottom in like mid-range shots. They only dunk and shoot threes. That's all they do. It's awesome. It's so fun to watch.
I love the chaos element of it as well. Like not many teams really play like that.
Yeah.
And you can just watch them. Like you say, like they kind of impose their will on a team. Like when Alabama plays a basketball game, like you're like, okay, this is going to be an Alabama game. Like Alabama's going to run. They're going to make you run as well. And the kind of chess match as well is how a team can go and implement that against somebody like UConn and Dan Hurley, who's so established. And they are also very comfortable in their identity. And like Shane said, more of a pro style offense as well. I mean, this might be the game I've been most excited about all year. Like this is going to be, hopefully, if everything lives up to it, UConn can not win by like 20 or 30 because I'm trying to see haymakers thrown back and forth over and over.
Now, do you guys think a close game between these two teams favors Alabama because they've been in close games so much throughout the tournament?
Well, yes and no. The only reason why I think it would is if it goes into overtime, because I think this team is. I'm not going to say that. I was going to say they're more conditioned because they run a lot, but like I know Dan Hurley's guys are in shape. Like I don't know. They won a very close. It was in the Sweet 16, the one I was thinking where Grant Nelson blocked it against UNC. And then the game against Clemson was weird because I did not think Clemson was going to be able to keep up with them, and they did. And that was really close. The only thing that I think favors Alabama is, unlike the other teams that UConn has played, like they have shown resilience to come back from double-digit deficits. Like they can do that. They had a scare against Grand Canyon. They were down against North Carolina. That game was back and forth. They were down against Clemson late, and they've been able to fight back. But it's just so hard to say that UConn has deficiencies because they just don't.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like it's hard to be like, well, can they handle a close game when the argument counter to that is they've just blown everybody else out by 30?
Yeah.
Which means that they have the makeup of a killer mentality, which in my mind means if it is a 5-point game, like they're the type of team that could be like, all right, well, we need to lock in and not make sure that this happens. You know, not a team that would crumble at the sight of adversity, but the one that would almost get pissed off at it and play better because they have a higher expectation for themselves and how they've played throughout the season. So, I mean, it's possible. It's definitely possible that a team who isn't put in that type of similar situation when it gets close and down to the nitty gritty, maybe just mental reps and stuff like that for Alabama can come out on top. But I can't sit here and confidently say that UConn would not hold their own and play well in a close game because of just how good they are all around.
Yeah, they're mentally tough enough, I feel like.
100%.
And that's nothing against, Nate Oats in Alabama. UConn is just, again, they've been there as a program. Like Dan Hurley's been here as a program as recently as last year when they were dominating again, right? Like they won by double digits in the Final Four last year against Miami, and then you look at the national championship that they won last year against San Diego State. That was a double-digit win. Like this is not new to UConn. The dominance, the mentality of, hey, we are better. We are going to establish our dominance, and we could sit here and be like, hey, you know, Nate Oats in Alabama, Grant Nelson, Sears, like they have proven that they can come back from these deficits. You look at UConn's NCAA tournament run, not just this year, but even last year, it's double-digit win, double-digit win, double-digit win. They have been slaughtering teams for years now, right? Like it's as much as we can sit here and national media is going to sit there and talk about, oh, this is, you know, could be a close game. I think you're probably looking at UConn winning again by 10 plus points.
I don't think that would be the most surprising thing in the world. And Donald pointed out in the chat, I went and fact checked it. Like Dan Hurley did say, quote, we suck at winning close games, so we've got to go with the alternative, end quote. I think that was a little bit more tongue in cheek.
That was definitely tongue in cheek.
Not
That's
like,
such a
not
great
like
quote.
actually, like
That's such a great
it is
quote.
hard as fuck. Like to be like, yeah, we actually, you know, we can't win by like 5 points. So we just win by 30 instead.
Yeah, UConn doesn't play with their food.
No, not at all. And it could be one of those games where it's close throughout, and just at the end, UConn kind of pulls it away and ends up winning by 10 or 12 points, but really it's closer. I would almost not be surprised at anything besides an Alabama blowout, right? Like if Alabama, the way that they play, like if they beat UConn, I wouldn't be like putting money down on it, but I wouldn't be the most surprised in the world because of how good Alabama has been.
Yeah.
But if it's a close game like that, if UConn blows it out, like whatever, that's not going to be too surprising to me.
Yeah, they just haven't had a team be able to run on them. Like they haven't allowed it, and you know the teams that they played haven't, like San Diego State's athletic, but they don't really like they try to slow it down. Northwestern wants to push the pace, but they couldn't even in the first round. And Illinois is more of a get the best shot, run an offense in the half court with Terrence Shannon Jr. They get outrun a little bit, but like Alabama needs to, like that's what they do. Like as soon as the ball goes in the hoop, they want to run. Like because they give up a ton of points too. But as soon as they give up points, they're running. Like they have fast breaks after makes, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a really fun matchup to watch, and that's the only thing that I think Bama has a chance in winning this game in. But I don't see UConn allowing them to do it.
But it would be cool, like to see a team like UConn who has been able to just put runs against people, right? Like obviously the 30-0 run is way out
so
there.
ridiculous.
Like that's
dude.
not something that you can bank on happening again. But
You might be able to with this team.
no, but a good way to stop a run like that is like to Shane's point, to run the other way and to try
run
to put
with
the
them.
ball in the hoop.
Yeah.
Right. And to put the pressure back on them, to not allow them to put that pressure on you. And Alabama's a good kind of release valve for that pressure. And they can maybe take that hit and they won't worry, oh, UConn just scored 5 points in a row, because we know that we can turn around and score 5 points in a row on our own. Like I think the mental side of it, like that's I wouldn't be surprised if Nate Oats is just saying like, if they score, whatever. Like don't let them get in your head and be like, this is a team that wins by 20, a team that wins by 30. You can score just as well as they can score.
And
like match them.
They should have Wright Selbach, who's been dealing with the optical concussion thing. So that's big. But Alabama does play small, and Klingon he's a big white man. Like he's not a big white man like Grant Nelson is. He's like a broad shoulders guy. That's gonna
Is that his voice?
No.
Santa?
No, it's not ho ho ho.
Come on, dude. There's a difference.
Sorry, man. Sorry. It is what it is. I didn't get my coffee.
Also, shout out
this
Emilio,
morning,
who was also at practice and said hello. He was in the chat earlier.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Guys, hit that like button again. Hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, we're going to continue talking college hoops here in a second. But first, I want to tell you about our friends over at Circle K. They are America's thirst shop. They're Eric's thirst shop. They're Big Pokey's thirst shop. Everybody here at PHNX. They've got a new free membership program called Inner Circle. It's going to help you save money every single day. You guys are going to be able to save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups, and then 3 cents per gallon every single day after that. And if that's not enough, you're going to get every 6th free in a selection of great Circle K products, pizza, coffee, ice cold fountain drinks, and more. Not to mention, even if it's not a part of the selection of those Circle K products that you're going to get every 6th free, they have literally 1,000,005 different snacks, drinks. There is something for everybody at Circle K. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading that Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit circlek.com for details.
And the best part about Circle K is that there's literally one everywhere that you're going.
Yeah, there is.
Any direction from wherever you are. I drive into work, I drive by 2 Circle Ks. If I go the opposite direction, I'm driving by 2 Circle Ks. Like, I can get my thirst fix anywhere, and especially if I'm driving to Illegal Pete's. Because right now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm really hungry.
I'm starving.
And ever since I saw the Illegal Pete's read here, I've just been thinking about their mouth-watering food, their bowls, tacos, salad, burritos, nachos, piping hot, queso. I mean, guys, to go along with all of that, we got patio beers. I know it was a little rainy over the weekend, but the sun is coming out now. Time to crack a beer open on the patio. And Arizona's strongest margarita. They tested it. They put it through the combine. The athletic score was off the charts for this margarita.
First
Extremely strong. First overall pick of a margarita.
Good pro day.
Huge. Looked good in shorts out there. Everything like that, man. It was truly incredible. And right now, Illegal Pete's is here to bring you a win with their legendary sound check deal. Bring in your ticket stub from any ticketed event and get a draft beer or a house margarita for a penny. Illegal Pete's wants to celebrate with you, whether it's a pregame or postgame party. They got you covered on all your game day needs. Now, you must purchase an adult entree, so no kids entrees. Sorry, Totri. Wow. To get this sound check deal, bring in your ticket stub.
What do you say?
And you get
Call me a child.
I said you have to do it with an adult entree, not a kid's entree. Illegal Pete's, your go-to
insane.
spot for
That is
burritos,
insane.
buddies, and beer.
All right. Well,
That's just crazy.
should we? You want to go to practice on Tuesday?
It's just
Thursday?
crazy.
Yeah, but are you going to practice on Tuesday?
Yeah, are you going to practice on Tuesday?
No, probably not.
I'm not going to practice on Tuesday. We
Jose Perez over here.
have a meeting.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's just wild. Okay? Need you to be better. Stop
You know
taking
what else is
shots.
wild? The swim team?
Yeah, the swim team is wild. What a natty. Look, if you aren't familiar with
Leon Marchand
is the best athlete in Arizona State.
He's going to be better
history.
than Michael Phelps.
He might be. He might be.
I said it.
You're putting that out there
I
right
said
now.
it. Sorry, Americans. Leon Marchand.
ASU swim and dive. You want to talk about a wagon?
Yep.
ASU swim and dive is the definition of a wagon because again, Bob Bowman, who is the coach at Arizona State, as was Michael Phelps' USA coach for the longest period of time. They beat everybody. Part of that is Leon. Again, part of that is just some of the other talent that they have. And if you didn't see, on March 30th, they made history. The Sun Devil men on their first NCAA championship title in program history. So shout out the ASU swim and dive team. I know we were talking about some of the wrestlers last week that won a natty. So great weeks.
This stuff is really important for ASU athletics because right now needed a win.
Yeah, no,
needed
absolutely
a win. Shout out Kate for filling up at Circle K with the inner circle.
love it.
Love
Bang.
that.
Absolutely love it. Look, a lot of people obviously talking about the men's Final Four that you're going to have coming up, but you can't sleep on the women's Elite Eight, especially the games that you got going on tonight. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, LSU, Iowa, UConn, USC. I mean, it's just the stars are going to be out tonight.
Yeah, it's obviously everybody's going to be watching that Iowa game. That's probably going to be the most watched game this tournament because of what happened last year in the final. But Paige Becker's seeing her story of being able to come back from injury and not only pick up where she left off, but take this team to the next level is awesome. And that game against Juju Watkins and USC is going to be really fun. But good things aside, get your shit together, women's college basketball.
Yeah.
Having a 3-point line that's shorter than the other side.
Yeah, that's
9
crazy.
inches short.
That's crazy.
It's insane. It like that can't happen.
Yeah.
That can't happen.
But it did.
It's ridiculous.
It did. Who's winning?
Ooh.
Who's winning?
Iowa and UConn.
Iowa and UConn?
Yep.
I would have
LSU
to
is
agree.
all out of sorts. LSU, even in their wins, they've looked bad. They their coach is a loser, and she wears sparkles and lies. We're going with UConn, and we're going with Iowa.
Yeah, definitely not a Kim Mulkey fan over here.
Yeah.
I
I don't think
root
there's
for
a
that.
lot of Ken Mulkey fans.
No, I don't think so at all.
I hope she gets like arrested for tax evasion or something and has to take a mugshot in like some sparkly suit.
She gets arrested mid-game.
That'd be awesome. Well, no, just like after or
Yeah.
something.
A mid-game arrest would be kind of crazy.
It would go kind of nuts.
Yeah.
They just start playing completely different. Like they're
Yeah.
free. They're so happy. They start blowing teams out. No, Iowa, LSU, and UConn, USC is so great for just the sport in general because we've seen this rise of women's basketball, especially collegiately. Like that's what's been leading the way with around personalities like Paige and around Caitlin and around Angel and even Juju Watkins, who's now is kind of that next.
Yeah,
the
next era.
Isn't she a freshman?
Yeah, she's a freshman. Yeah. And you can definitely see a path for her getting better just because of like, she puts up really good numbers, but her percentages and her efficiency and stuff like that can definitely get worked on. But as you go through time in college, you're going to get more refined and kind of that torch is probably going to get passed over that next year. It's really exciting and it's great for the sport and it's the right thing as well to see people get like excited over it and to even see like some of these like mainstream like debate shows start arguing about legacy. Well, I don't love those conversations. That's when you do know that like it's moving more into the mainstream media, which is where it deserves to be. Because man, this is some hoops.
Yeah,
man.
there are some stars.
Like, there's some hoops going on.
Yeah, the thing that needs to happen though is, I mean, before Caitlin Clark, there was Sabrina Ionescu who was doing a lot of the same shit at Oregon.
Yeah.
And then moved on to the next level, and it's been awesome for the Liberty, but like it needs to transition to the next level. And I think Caitlin Clark can bring that.
100%.
But there needs to be a better way to keep these eyes on the talent after they move past college basketball, because college basketball is really fun and it's really accessible. March Madness is the thing everybody loves, but there needs to be more eyes on it at the pro level.
Yeah, and I hope that when college basketball and as it continues to rise up, that investment in it as well, like when stars now go to the W, it's going to be a bigger buy-in. And I don't know if you guys saw, but the Big Three offered Caitlin Clark
$5 million.
massive contract, which some people might look at it as kind of like a shtick or a gimmick, but I see it the complete opposite way, where it gives her a chance to not only play in the W and the Big Three, but to continue to elevate her brand and to show people who think like, oh, she could do blah, blah, blah. Like, nah, like she's a maniac.
Yeah.
She's a certified grade A sicko.
Yeah. And there's still people out there that would be like, oh, I'd beat him. I'd beat him 1-on-1. Like, no, you wouldn't.
No, you would get absolutely
you get worked.
You
get absolutely worked by all of them. By literally all of them.
So stupid.
It's and to see the way that this sport is going up on the up and up, right? For me, like it makes me want to see ASU women's basketball succeed so much more. Like those years with Charlie Turner Thorne, like the success that they had. Like
they fucking did it right.
I had to, man. Like,
No. I'm not getting mad at you. That'd have been funny.
I
should have acted like I was getting mad at you. No, this is an actual conversation, because ASU basketball is nowhere to be found, and they haven't been since they let their lead, like the
legend,
one of the best coaches in ASU sports history, walk. And I know there's different ways to it, but that's kind of what I figured from it.
I genuinely thought he was mad that I.
No, I actually thought so too. I thought so too.
No.
Oh my goodness, guys, that is going to do it for today's PHNX Sun Devils show. If you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a 5-star review if you're listening on audio, and we will be back live at around noon tomorrow. So definitely stay locked in for all of that. But in the meantime, give us a follow at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow Erik Ruby at Erik Ruby. That is Erik with a K. And you can follow DJ Danielle at Abrica Danielle
DJ
across
Danielle.
social. And you can follow Big Pokey here at Shane Deef.
And just, being an angry little guy as always.
We'll see you guys Tuesday. In the meantime, go Devils and peace.
We all silly like the mayor.